This is not the first time I've tried to do this video. There was a version that I did before that incorporated footage that I simply cannot use anymore because plans have changed. So hopefully this will be a bit more generic, so if things don't quite work out as I'm hoping now, it won't matter. This will still be valid. Because as you may have noticed, the shelves behind me are somewhat bare and there's a bit of disarray, although that's not unusual for me. And yeah, simply we're looking into moving. The previous video had footage from a new place. We've got everything sorted out. Everything seemed to be ready to go. But there was work that needed doing. And it didn't seem like it would get done to the level that we were promised and in a time that was reasonable. It was about 2 weeks between us actually signing for the place and us going, this is not right. So we got most of the funding back, thankfully. This isn't, me begging for the difference. The difference isn't your issue, it's ours, our naivety and everything like that. But it did mean that obviously I had to redo the video. But in that video were a number of things. It was kind of a bit of a 3 or 4 in one. And the first one is, of course, the thank you for the 250 subs. A lot of people don't think of it as a meaningful milestone. They're all looking at the in the thousands. They want their play buttons. But at the end of the day, you've got to appreciate everyone. Every single person who's come and gone, I like what you're doing. Here, have my number. It's a good thing. And, a lot of people think that it's all about getting into, 5-6 digit kind of numbers. But it's not. It's about making sure that you build a fan base organically and naturally. And, you listen to people. There have been suggestions on videos that I've finally gotten around to. There's been people who've made comments about the audio quality, which made me kind of go back to the road, but I got an acoustic shield for it, so hopefully a lot of the background noise is cancelled out, and a lot of the reflected noise is cancelled out, so it's not so bad. Yes, it's still further away than it really should be, because this is a living room that I've tried to repurpose. But I can work with that without it being too awful. I listen to people. I mean, whether they're a sub or not. They might just be a passing visitor who's watched one video and gone, oh, if you tweak that, maybe I'll come back. It doesn't matter to me who you are, how many subs you have, what your sphere of influence is. You have come and you've shown your appreciation for what I'm doing, and that's all I can ask. Yes, I get the occasional derogatory comment, and I get the occasional just trolly comment and spam, but that to me is a sign that you're doing well. When you start getting the when you're not just getting the, oh, isn't this a nice video kind of comments or stuff, not that that's bad, but if you're not just getting the nice flowery comments, you're actually getting something else, then that's a sign that you're doing something good. I think someone wise once said, if you're meeting enemies, you're going the right way. Obviously, must have been a game of themselves. But one of the other factors of the video was the fact that, yes, the move is something we were doing. And part of that is to create a studio/office space. Again, part of this improvement of quality, which is as much for my peace of mind as for you guys, to be honest. I don't want to put stuff out there that's awful. So the amount of takes I have for even just one video is ridiculous. If you were sat here watching, which would make me uncomfortable, you'd be like, okay, can you just get on with it? Can you finish doing it? It is quite nightmarish. So you get me after like a good few takes in most cases. There are ones that I just knock out the park straight away. I'm not going to deny that, but it is often, oh no, I didn't like that. Let's do that again. And I do have this thing of trying to do it in one take as much as possible for some reason. I don't know what that's all about. The editing's not that hard anymore. But yeah, it is about sort of moving forward and into a new place. And, once I've got that set up, this giant, huge project that requires a lot of research and work will finally come to fruition at some point. Because the idea of moving came in roughly around the same time I was thinking about that. And it was like, do I want to start doing all this work and then be like, oh, we're moving? And I've got to put that on hold because I can't really have something big that requires a lot of work. I need to just do the bread and butter kind of stuff, really, just the simple stuff. I mean, the stuff that is coming up in the next few weeks, because I'm trying to bank some so that if we do actually get the move ongoing for where we're looking at now, there's not going to be a lull. And there's one that years ago I was like, oh, I want to review this film, and I'm like, oh, I should probably do that now. It's been on my list for, like I say, years. Awful. But it is something that I do want to do moving forward. Just improve, do bigger projects, just really make use of the space, because I'll be actually in a room dedicated to it, and having a set space for it will help with the mindset. Like I say, this is just a living room at the moment, so I'll go, oh, I'll do it in a bit. I'm terrible for that. But a set space is very, very different. But also part of that is the music side. I've occasionally had like little things that I've put out here, and a lot of stuff that I've done mainly on Facebook through the SoundCloud. I've floated kind of like demo kind of stuff. So like that's okay enough for people to listen to and go, here's what I'm working on, kind of thing. But I do want to obviously get some of my own creations out there. Maybe some covers if I can get away with them. I just want to sort of get this all out there, but the algorithm doesn't like diversity in your channel. I'm not saying like it's racist or anything like that. It doesn't like, say a channel that's primarily media review and analysis to suddenly start making music. I mean, technically it's not suddenly, like I say, there have been bits in the past, and I know some of my older videos don't fit the mould. I may remove those from the video to help. This is how much I'm looking at making sure that I'm appreciated and well responded to by the algorithm. Maybe sort of get rid of some of those old cringy ones that are really awful quality, and things like that. And just get a separate music channel together as well, so I can put all that out there and it isn't going to screw up anything. I did it a while back, a few years ago. I had the gaming channel as well, but it was a lot of like, oh, I've got to do this for this, got to do this for this, and it really just threw me. The music side is really just going to be like, oh, I've got that ready to do, so I'll do that. It's not going to be like an every day, every week, or anything like that. Maybe I might do a challenge or something, like write a song in a week and sort of do like a vloggy style process. Something like that is fine, but it's not going to be super regular uploads on that channel, which is my segue into doing the thing that I hate to do and talk about, the back end and stuff, and like, but as that's going to be something that will happen, and I might sort of drop videos like this moving forward. The notification bell apparently sometimes works, so try to use it if you want to make sure you don't miss out on this, and like I say, when I've got that channel set up, which will also have a follow-up update video, which is why notifications are a good thing to enable. The shilling for YouTube bit done, that I really hate doing there. That's why I don't do it every video. You already know this stuff at the end of the day. You're seasoned watchers, viewers, whatever it may be. But yeah, that is the idea, and it does feed into the Patreon as well, which is a barren landscape. But this isn't guilting again into that. Again, I don't do it every video. I don't go on about it. I just have the end card and the description. It's fine. I'm not going to go into detail all over again. But I do, have that set up, and like I say, it's a barren landscape at the moment because it's very difficult for me to put stuff out there. I don't want to promise things that I can't fulfill. I can't make stuff or ship stuff across the world unless I get the funding in that enables me to do that. So it's a bit of a catch-22, but I can't put it up as a tier because I can't at the moment commit to that financially. You get it? Discord server just terrifies me because I am very introvert. This kind of thing, and the comments I can do at my own speed. I can take my time on them. Things like live chats and stuff like that are very, live. And that terrifies me, having to think of a response in the moment. I mean, if it's something that, people are willing to like help me moderate and administer, fine. I can include that as a tier. I've always said anything that you might want as a tier, suggest to me, with maybe ideas of how to implement it, and I'm happy to at least entertain the notion. But the other thing is going to be, like I say, incorporating the music into it, which will sort of perhaps maybe seem like I'm favouring the music fans over the others, but it isn't, or the media fans perhaps, because it's going to be one Patreon. I'm not separating the Patreons, there's no need for that, because Raps House Productions, as I file my taxes, is a multimedia business, so it's fine for that. But what it means is, I can't delineate. I can't have tiers that, are music or media side. I might be able to, but unless I can figure out a way to implement it fairly, at the end of the day, the best way I can say is just a tier for the business. So whichever side you've come in for, you will get the same perks. And part of those perks will be, before a video goes up, an MP3 or whatever format. If you prefer a different format and I can do it, fine. But my minimum quality of MP3 is 192. Anything lower than that, no. I may go to higher bit rates if there's a lot of nuance, a lot of texture, if you will, in the sound, and it just won't. I don't think the compression will really reflect it well. So you may get slightly bigger ones if necessary, but like I say, it's something to think about. But before the video goes up for that piece, those MP3s will go out to patrons who are currently subscribed. I was looking at how to do it, and I don't think there's a fair way to do it retroactively. I would have to send them individually. Because if I have, say, Google Drive or something like that, I have to change the password every month, and I'm terrible for remembering passwords anyway. So if I had to do that every time, it would be a nightmare. So as soon as the person, as soon as someone becomes a patron, whatever the most recent one is, will be sent out to them. And then any subsequent ones during their patronage, they will be on the list. Like I say, if I can figure out a way of separating the tiers and making sure that the media analysis and review side gets a fair crack of the whip as well, fine. But at the moment, I think it's easier to put them in one. Yes, maybe it seems like the media guys get free MP3s for nothing, but they're still paying. They are paying the business to keep going, and that's part of the perks. If they don't want that, they've got the other perks, which might include a few more behind the scenes things, maybe like bloopers and stuff. Because I said the amount of takes I do is ridiculous. So maybe start incorporating that like as a separate patron thing. There is there is a thing on the tiers at the moment that says monthly updates at least. But whilst there's no patrons, I'm not doing an extra video a month and feeling disheartened. I did do it for a few, but I was kind of getting like, why am I doing these? And it really, really brought me down. So until there are patrons to watch them, they're not existing. But this has been my long-winded, rambly update and thank you. And like I say, hopefully, the next few videos are going to be recorded pretty much straight after this one. So maybe in a month or so's time, you'll see a different room and better quality slightly. There's only so much I can improve, but it's always an ongoing process, and I'm happy to improve, happy to keep going, and I'll talk to you again maybe in a month or so's time once I've figured out what I'm doing with the music. If not, 500, whatever comes first. Optimism. But that's all from me, I think. Like I say, I've rambled on and off, so thank you very much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you, for subscribing in advance. If you've stumbled on this not as a subscriber, go and do it. Add yourself to the number. Let me get those bigger numbers, because it's great, and I love it. But that'll be all, like I say. So until next time, as always, thank you for watching, subscribing, liking, whatever it is you do, and take care.